Welcome to part 2 of my top 10 albums of 2008. So far we've had at 10 Crystal Castles, at 9 Lady Hawk, at 8 Elbow, at 7 Fleet Foxes and at 6 Foals. Which brings us nicely to the top 5, and in at number 5 with another debut album, it's Santigold. Santigold is American singer-songwriter and producer Santi White. This track, Les Artistes, made it to number 2 on Rolling Stone's Singles of the Year list. The album as a whole is a well-crafted mix of synth and soul. The end result, a healthy batch of catchy pop tunes. Now, to help explain one of the tracks from my next favourite album, I've enlisted the help of Johnny, who's a student. Johnny, what is an Oxford comma?
Well, the Oxford comma, also referred to as the serial comma, is one that features immediately before a grammatical conjunction such as "and" in a list of 3 or more items. While it's not as consistently used in Britain as America, it's still encouraged in some style guides in order to reduce ambiguity. OK,
you've guessed it, at number 4, it's Vampire Weekend. And aren't they a bunch of clever clogs, those Columbia University graduates have somehow mixed indie rock with African pop and come up with something quite special. At 3, it's Glasvegas. Scottish rockers Glasvegas have Metallica to thank for keeping their stunning self-titled album off the top spot in the UK this autumn. But let's face it, number 2 ain't bad for a debut which has featured in a fair few top 10s for 2008. The record is a heady mix of 50s rockabilly, moody guitar and tales of life growing up on a council estate in Glasgow. And it gets even better. If you don't already own it, there's a deluxe Christmas edition out. There's even a cover of Silent Night. At number 2, it's the best cowboy rockers in the world, Kings of Leon. They may have cut their hair, but unlike Samson, they just keep getting stronger. This year's follow-up to Because of the Times was never going to be easy, but the Tennessee Quartet's 4th album, Only by the Night, scored them a UK number 1, along with the platinum-selling number 1 single, Sex on Fire. And now they've received their first ever Grammy nomination. I literally love this band. Time now for a recap of the top 10. In at 10, Canada's Got Game, it's Crystal Castles. At 9, bringing back the 80s in a good way, Lady Hawk. At 8, those seldom seen kids, Elbow. At 7, folk rockers Fleet Foxes. At 6, they've got the antidote, it's Foals. At 5, synth and soul, the sound of Santigold. At 4, it's an education, Vampire Weekend. At 3, there's way more to Scotland than deep-fried Mars bars, Glasvegas. And at 2, Cowboys Do Rock, the Kings of Leon with Only by the Night. So here we are at number 1. I've said it before and I'll say it again, psychedelic space rock doesn't get much better. It's MGMT. In 2007, Rolling Stone magazine named MGMT as one of the top 10 artists to watch in 2008, and they've certainly lived up to the hype. Ben Goldwasser and Andrew Van Den Garden met at university in Middleton, Connecticut, and thank God they did. After hooking up with Flaming Lips producer David Fribman, along came Oracular Spectacular, for me most certainly the album of 2008. And the good news is the Brooklyn-based duo are already working on the follow-up. Well, that's, in my humble opinion, the best of 2008. And in the words of ABBA, I say thank you for the music. I look forward to what 2009 has to offer. In the meantime, happy holidays. I'll be back in the new year.